Hey there, everybody. I'm CCB Dolan here with CCB Rise, bringing you the second match of the winners bracket of Day 3 of the New Eden Open 2. A lot of numbers there. We have DyslExodus Weeby May in red versus Kolbasz Inside in blue. And boy, oh boy, do we have a crazy setup from DyslExodus Weeby May.
This is really interesting. I feel like Kolbasz really won the meta trade here. That it looks like you can see 3 Vindicators on the DyslExodus side. And then some frigates, basically. On the Kolbasz Inside guide, they have Fleet Foon set up, Tengu, and then bursts for that logistics. And it feels a bit to me like DyslExodus, like you were saying, brought a counter to Dominix's. Like they just wanted to crush down some Dominix's with these Vindicators. And Kolbasz anticipated that and brought something that's really good against high damage battleship brawlers, which is kind of a kiting shield Fleet Foon setup. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see if DyslExodus is able to catch themselves any targets before they're all dead. They've already got webbed by some...
the Fleet Typhoon.
That's really interesting that they're all webbed already. They did not start all that close to each other. They actually started about 50k from each other. Exodus came in at 0 on the beacon with Kolbasz coming in at max range.
What? How is Insane not... What's attacking Insane Notlet then?
What?
I assume like is one of the Merlins just rolled across?
Yeah, I mean I'm trying to... I can't tell. It's... Yeah, I mean, it must be, right? Unless they're... I thought for a minute maybe they're webbing each other. It's like a line faster for MJD jumps or something.
That's what I potentially thought. But the Vindicator for Zarazal is going to go down. Losing one of these Vindicators is huge. You only have T1 support frigates in the support wing there.
So they are on top of one of the Fleet Typhoons. You can see right here this...
They're not trading fast enough. The reps from the Tengu or reps from the Burst are too much, I guess.
Yeah.
And come on, there we go. Vindicator going down. That's 1/3 of all of the DPS for DyslExodus Weeby May completely wiped out the field.
Well, that's not completely true, but it's close to true.
So, close enough. The Fleet Typhoon for Isano is actually still holding, and they've swapped to a burst. They don't think they can break the Fleet Typhoon in time.
Well, that's probably just the support. It looks like the Vindicators are still working on the Fleet Foon. Wow, second Vindicator already in armor is really bad news.
Yeah, 50% armor, and this other Fleet Typhoon will all be on the other side of the arena already.
Yeah. I mean, the Fleet Foon should be able to at least work down this Vindicator,
He's
and that leaves
How is
a
that
whole
Fleet Typhoon
team
holding? How is he holding so long?
Against 2, it's not that crazy. It was pretty crazy against 3. I mean, that 3 should have been able to break, but they had them webbed all over the place, so the ranges are probably split out. Their damage is not so good. They did manage to take him down.
Local rep on this Vindicator. They need to punch him right now. Just get that last... There we go. Only one Vindicator left, and this is going to be cleanup for Kolbasz Inside here.
Unless these Merlins manage to take out both bursts.
No, they won't. The Merlins are just getting
then,
melted. There's a Hawk back there that's just going to chew them up.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Wow, really interesting. I'm very, very curious about what kind of happened behind the scenes in this setup selection. I feel like... I don't know. I almost feel like this Vindicator setup is actually pretty weak against Dominix's as well. I'm kind of surprised they would choose this even if they thought they were up against Dominix's.
I don't know. So it's very important, like, if those Dominix's can't MGD away, you can get your frigs across the field really quick, catch them, and then put the Vindicators on top of them very quick as well. These Vindicators aren't particularly heavily tanked. So
yeah, that's the thing, is you're going to lose a Vindicator.
I don't
probably
think you
one Vindicator on the way to the Dominix's.
I don't think you lose a Vindicator in the charge, though.
Really?
I think that
I think almost exactly this happens. You lose most of a Vindicator, and by the time your damage is situated, you're looking at, just 2 Vindicators or close to, maybe 2 1/4.
I don't think I think you can get your Vindicators across 50 kilometers pretty quick.
I don't know. Would be interesting to know, but I just feel like this is risky against either. It's super it's risky against Dominix's, and it's just plain bad against a lot of non-Dominix setups like this one. Kolbasz looking really, really strong. Obviously just destroying this Exodus setup.
If those were MJD Vindicators.
I thought they would have been, but I mean, in this case, it wouldn't have actually been all that helpful starting at 50k from the enemy Fleet Foons and then having stuff come at you. You're MJDing probably farther away than you could get just by micro warping. So.
Well, you would warp in at 50 kilometers if you were going to take the MJD Vindicators.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could do that.
And then MJD right on top of them.
Yeah. But they might not have had MJDs though. I never saw one used, and the mid slots are actually really, really valuable in this case. Like they need it.
Webs,
they need it for tank. They need it for a web, and they need it for a micro warp. So there's just not a lot of room there.
I don't think those are shield Vindicators.
It's hard to tell. They died so fast that
No tanked Vindicators. No
I
tank
didn't
at all.
actually see them rep either way, so maybe it was just like a plate.
There were
or
there
two.
were armor reps on there though. There were active, active armor.
So yeah, that might have been better than to come in at 50 with MGDs. But
So wow, commanding performance from Kolbasz inside. They're going to drop these last two T1 frigates, and that's going to be a pretty commanding win for what we thought was going to be a really close match walking in. A lot of metagame played in the bans here. Dominic's not picked up by anyone.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really where this match happened, is in the bans and in the composition choices.
And both these teams are teams not afraid to bring dummies. They like Exodus has brought dummies before.
I think Exodus brought dummies in this tournament.
Yeah.
I think their first match, I think they brought dummies. And yeah, I mean, of course, neither team would be afraid to. I feel like they, are just making choices based on leaving dummies open, expecting their opponent to do something, and then either making a bad choice in Exodus' case or making a really good choice in Kolbasz.
And that's going to be the match. DyslExodus will be not out yet, dropping down to the losers bracket.
Yep.
But Kolbasz inside, commanding performance. We're going to see you back in the studio in just a couple seconds.